Hello everyone, welcome back. In this session, we're going to talk about global variables. Previously, we talked about local variables and we mentioned that local variables are defined within each function and only are accessible in that specific function. So if we have function number 1 and we define integer x, it is only accessible in function number 1 and not in function number 2 or int main function. So here we are going to discuss global variables. I have one int main variable here and one function here and a global variable here. So the global variable here, as you see, it is in none of the functions. So this is why it is variable. So this is the first function. This is the second function. So, and this variable is defined globally because it is not inside any specific function. Therefore, it can be used in any function. So, because it can be used in any function, in int main function, I'm going to print its value, its initial value. Okay. So, let me just run this code. So as you know, whatever that is inside the int main function is going to be executed, nothing else. So if we are not going to call this function right now because we commented it, it's not going to call this function. This function is this function is only going to be working if I call it in the int main function. So let's compile and see how the program would work only with this one line. Okay, so here we see that it says global number initially 100. So it says global number initially, this is the message we type, and then we print the value of global num. So the global num equals 100. It is printing it easily and it is accessible because it's a global number. So then we have the option of modifying that global number. So in order to do some modification and mathematical operations in this global number, we define a void function here. So a void function is defined before the int main. The input is empty and it is void, so it returns nothing. So basically in this function, when we call this function, we are going to add 50 value to its original value. So if you remember, when we have global num plus equal a number, it means that we are having like global num plus 50. Okay, so whatever the value of global num is, it is added with 50 and then its summation is going to be assigned to the global num. So in this case it is 100 and it is 50, so the new value is 50, but for the sake of efficiency we simply write it like that. So it's the same thing. So get used to also using equations like this. So we call this function here. This function is going to add 50 value to the original value of global num, and then it's going to print global num inside function saying that global num, and then it is going to print this value. And here we have like global number after modification, and it is going to call this number again. So we are going to have three prints. Why? Firstly, in the int main function, I'm going to call global number initially, and this number is this number which is global, so it is accessible here. And then I'm going to call this function. This function is going to add 50 values to the original value of global num, which was originally 100. So therefore it is now 150. And it's going to also print the global number inside function message and also print the new value of global number. So Previously it was 100. Now we modified this number and it is 150. So because it's a global number and it is now 150, we are printing it again, global number after modification. So we expect to see 150 here as well. So this is a global number done once in the int main, done once in this function, and also called again and used again in the int main. It is a very good example showing that how one global number is accessible from anywhere in the code. So let's compile and see how it works, and then we analyze the code. Okay, so let's analyze. So we have the global num here 100. When we call it initially in the main function, it says global num 100. So it is printing its value here. Then we are calling this function using this call. It is going to add 50 values to the global num and it is going to print its new value as to be 150. Then when the work with this function is finished, the code is going to come back here and goes to the new line. So now it's going to print cout global number after modification and it's going to print global num. And it's going to give us the 150. So we see that we can access the global number from anywhere. So let me just add something here. If we have another void function, modify to, for example, I would say, and then we are saying global num minus equal 100, and then we are going to cout the global num inside the second modified function is, then we have the global num handle. Okay, so and then I'm going to also call this new function tool. Sorry, the name is not correct. So whenever we are calling the function, even if it doesn't have any input, it's important to have the brackets, to have the parentheses. Sorry. So with this new defined function, we are going to subtract 100 values from the global number. So we had like 100 here, then we called this, and then it adds 50 values. So here it is 150. Then this function is done, where the program goes back to the main function and it is going to print 150. And then we are calling this second function. So the second function is going to reduce 100 value from the global num. So let's execute the code. Okay. So on top of what happened so far, we said that 100, 150, and 150 again. But here I modified the global number once more. So once more, I call a new function that is going to subtract 100 value from the last modified value for the global number. So it is going to simply do the modification like 150 minus 100, it will be 50, and it's going to show the result for us. So this is one thing. So this is what we need to know about the local and global variables. But another point to show the efficiency of functions is that here you see we are having two functions being called, and these are the things that I added simply because I wanted to have a better explanation of the code. These two lines can be also removed, but here and here we are just calling the functions, and all the work is being done here. So if someone wants to read our code, it would be very easy for the reader to understand what we're doing here. So this is why we say we need to use functions to make the int main function as clear as possible. Thank you for watching. If you haven't had the chance to rate the course so far, please go ahead and do so. And also, don't forget to give us your feedback. It would be valuable for us to improve the courses for future students. Thank you.